TLC Town and Team One Blogosphere. This is Lady Nick. Today I'm in the studio with
Frankie Fabre.
Hello, Frankie. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Finally, wonderful. I want to introduce your company to our TLC Town citizens who are also small business owners. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Francisco Fabre. Many know me as Frankie. Typically friends and family, those that I'm close to. I own a production company, a media production company named LIAL Productions. That's LYAL Productions. And basically what we do is we help grow the images of small businesses. So we deal with video production, photography, web design, social media design. And our goal is to help produce the perception of a company to help take them to a standard to where people see them as credible companies. And, eventually what that does is it allows them to bring in more clients, more customer base, growing the revenue of that company. The goal is obviously to bring us more success towards the small businesses and every business that we deal with, whether it's a brand, product, idea, services. That's our goal and that's our ambition. Our motto is we grow cities one business at a time. And we do that by dealing with the small businesses. So.
Awesome. It sounds like you're busy. I know you on Facebook. You've been referred by credible people, which is also good. You always hear the horror stories about, certain companies, but I definitely want to let people know that there are young businessmen and women out here who are definitely about, just revitalizing the community.
Absolutely.
Let's go take a step back for a few seconds. And
Yeah.
How did you get started? Where did this journey begin?
Well, yeah, I would say since the age of 13, I've always been entrepreneur driven, someone who understands that, you eat what you kill, someone who wants more than what you would consider a simple standard when it comes to how you live and even being able to affect people. I've always been that type of person with that ambition. And throughout my journey, I've tested and tried different things that I thought were passions, but I've always had that passion to help grow. Whatever it was, I had an ambition to be part of growing something, seeing something start small, but then excel and say, hey, I was a part of being able to do that, or I had some type of effect in that entire equation of success or whatever it may have been. So since an early age in my life, I've always had that intuition of wanting to be a business owner. Later down the years, I've done different things, had certain jobs, and but I never had a sense of fulfillment until I stepped out on my own. And despite the fears and the statistics of the success possibilities, I was able to persevere throughout all of that and come out triumphant. And really, what I do is a passion of mine. Like, I literally have a heart passion with what I do. And for me, one thing I believe is this. I've always been a big advocate of the idea of America. And what is that? That somebody has the same opportunity in essence of being able to work hard and accomplish something, right? And if you look at our founding fathers and different things like that, you look back, despite all the negativity, they had an idea. America's an idea. And that's the same thing we get to do as small business owners, is have an idea or a service or a brand, whatever that may be, and say, hey, I want to take it to another level. I want to scale it something bigger than what I can imagine, and that's okay. And that's good to do and good to dream and good to envision. And, that's really been my motive is that's what America was birthed off of, is the idea that we have the ability to expand and grow beyond what dictatorship or rulership says, and with knowing that, I've always been part of wanting to help grow cities, right? And the reality of it is I'm not a politician, right? That's not my forte. That's not my talents or abilities, but I do have skills and talents which were hobbies that started off as hobbies in doing video, in doing photography, and doing design. And so I asked myself, what is it that I can do with the talents and abilities that I have to help grow a city? Why? Because I believe that the small businesses in the city are the backbone to the city. If the businesses in the city aren't doing well, most likely the city isn't doing well either. The economy is not doing well and people don't have jobs. But when small businesses are able to thrive and grow and flourish and walk with confidence and boldness, then they're able to step up in the economy and provide jobs to feed families, to do those things. And so I asked myself, how can I, with the talents and abilities I have, help that? How can I build that city? How can I do that? And that's where our goal is, to help grow cities by dealing with these small businesses. What we do is we're able to provide these small businesses with services at an affordable cost. You know, you got million-dollar corporations that have million-dollar budgets. And what we do is we're able to provide those services at a budget to where it's reasonable, at the same time excellence in service is being produced. So yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell in regards to the heart behind what birthed what I'm doing now and what I'm doing.
Awesome. I truly appreciate your vision. I know I don't have a lot of time for this segment of the interview, but let's take a personal, more path down how you got started. Did you have someone who mentored you? You know, during the fall season, one thing that we're definitely going to be reiterating is giving thanks to those that have gone before us and who have inspired us and definitely had hands-on inspiration in how we do what we do now. So since I'm sure you have a list of people to thank, you know, based on where you are now, can you list a few for us at this moment of who would you say thank you to?
Well, honestly, I can say for me, I've had many inspirations and mentors, I guess you can say, throughout my process and even now. But a lot of my mentors and inspiration comes from books and leaders who have been there and done that, who then now is able to say, here are some nuggets within this novel or within this literature for you to take on, so you don't have to make the same mistakes and fall through the same traps that they once had to, right? One thing I am is I'm a seeker of truth and a seeker of results. And with that, you know, I've studied people like Warren Buffett, Mark Cuban, just different men, and just studied different biographies of successful people, like Sam Walton. You know, despite, you know, the ridicule that may come to these people like J.P. Morgan, Andrew Carnegie, you know, just studied what they've done and different things like that, because at the end of the day, everything's about principle, right? I know, and a farmer knows, if I plant a seed in the ground, I should expect a harvest, right? Why? Because that's a principle. That's something that, despite whoever does it, if they do that, they're going to see results. And me, I'm a seeker of truth, a seeker of principle, integrity, and I look for people outside of even my own circle to influence me, because sometimes, you know, you find so much truth in these literatures. You find so much truth on how to do certain things just by reading. But I've had, as far as even in my talents, there's a man by the name of Corbin. He's an individual that's helped grow the talents within videography. He's a great filmmaker who's helped, you know, inspire and kind of threw nuggets along the way. So things that he had to go through, he's been doing it for like 30 years, that I was able to skip because I didn't have to go through those situations that he went through. I was no longer ignorant in those areas. And then even my core circle, I got a core group of guys and people that I trust, that we motivate one another. And we all are on that same journey. We are all going towards bigger things and better things, and we keep each other accountable and, you know, inspire one another. And, you know, it definitely helps to know that you got a group of people who are on the same boat with you and willing to extend a hand out when necessary, and vice versa. So just to kind of, that's my way of, I guess, answering that is, I got, you know, certain people who speak into my life and help that, but a lot of my motivation and a lot of where I'm at now was because of me reading and learning these leaders outside of even a personal relationship. They don't even know, you know, and but through their abilities, they have taught me, and me actually trying what it was that they were teaching, seeing the effects, and that it's actually true. So I'm a big reader.
Okay, let's narrow down that a little bit, because with the few minutes that we have left for this session,
Yeah.
speak to a younger you. You know, what 3 points would you say to a up and coming photographer, videographer, small business person that you would say, you know what, look out for this, you know, make sure you keep this in front of you or ahead of you, to definitely inspire a future generation of small business owners coming through the ranks?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
This year alone, I've dealt with over 13 different businesses around the local area, and I didn't just get there overnight. What it took was, it took a lot of patience, having patience, and what does that consist of? Patience, not in essence of waiting, but working hard, knowing that it will all pay off. That type of patience, right? And that's the type of patience that's going to be continually, like, is going to be continued through the process. I'm 5 times further than I was last year. That's just my reality, and I intend to be that next year. So patience, knowing that through your hard work, it will pay off, and that eventually will be today, and that eventually will end up coming. So having patience too, being diligent. There's no such thing as a successful lazy person. A lot of people talk a good game, but the reality of it, it's a fact, is they don't follow through with their actions. You know, part of success, half of success is showing up. That's just what it is, showing up and being willing to do what you're not necessarily always comfortable with doing. But it's in those times that you grow, and you see growth in what you're trying to accomplish. And 3, invest in yourself. Invest into yourself. That's invest in, with your time. Invest in mastering what you do. Invest your money into yourself. Invest these things, because guess what? You're your biggest asset. When you no longer exist, guess what? Your dreams no longer exist. Now it's the next person that has to take it on. So that would be the 3rd thing. Invest in you. Invest in yourself. Do what you need to do to become a better you. Read, study, do those things. Buy books. Go to maybe a seminar, or even if it's once a year, just something that can make you a better person, and feel like you have the ability to go beyond what all the no-sayers and naysayers say, because there's so much negativity out there. You'll get more bounded by those things than the reality of truths. And so I would say those 3 things: being patient, showing up, working hard, and investing in yourself. And that's what allowed me as a business owner to see, and not to, you know, toot my horn. This is gonna, one day it's gonna go even beyond that. But I was, in 3 months of this year, my business has produced what I produced all last year in 3 months. You know, and that's because of my willingness to say, I'm going all in, like blowing up the ship, no going back. There's no way back. I'm either gonna be successful or die. Like, that's just what it is. There's no options. I'm on this island, so I might as well make a city, because the boats are blown up. And so
I'm thinking about the captain, Ponce de Leon, I think it was, in Florida, the Spaniard leader, who said, you know what, we're not going back. And if you thought we were going back, let me make sure you understand, we're not going back.
Yeah, exactly. And matter of fact, I've heard that story many times, and I'm sure that's exactly what birthed even what I just said. Is he told his crew, like, hey, either we're gonna win or we're gonna die. There's no options. And that is what birthed our economy. That's what birthed America. Either we're gonna win or we're gonna die, right? Patrick Henry, give me liberty or give me death. There was no other option. It was either I'm gonna get what I want or I'm gonna die getting it. That's just the reality of it. And when you have that intuition, you're gonna be successful. You are, and yeah, this is just step one for me. And it's only gonna get, you know, better. It's not gonna. I'm gonna only learn more, grow more. It's not necessarily gonna get easier, but I'm gonna know how to deal with it even more. And I've been able to build a team. Now it's not just me. Once upon a time it was me. Now I got web programmers, photographers, people who do video with me. So now it's bigger and growing, and eventually I want to be able to feed more families and do those things.
Well, as we close out, I truly enjoyed our session this morning, and I'm looking forward to a part 2 where hopefully we can have a tour of LIAL Productions.
Yeah, for sure.
And some of your crew. But before we go, how do people get in contact with you if they want to reach you for some of the work that you do?
Yeah, you either could visit us at our website at lialproductions.com, L-I-A-L Productions with an S, .com, or you could call our office number at 779-379-2996. All the departments are in there. Whichever extension and whichever service you need, just click that extension, it'll go to them. So yeah, just call that number. If you want to get a hold of me, just ask for me, and yeah, see where we can go from there. And if this is where you've seen the video at through this, let me know. And yeah, that'd be the best way to get a hold of me. Phone or you can, you know, my email as well. You can just contact us at lialproductions.com. So there's many ways to contact us, just through social media. If you're on Facebook, whatever the social medias are, we're everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, LinkedIn, Google Plus, we're everywhere. So
I love it. I love it. Keep that fire burning. I appreciate you, and definitely the crew that you hang with. You know, I know it's not an easy road to travel, but I definitely continue to encourage you to, you know, prosper and be well. And I look forward to hosting part 2 of the interview with the Chief Artisan Thursday. God bless. And listeners, stay tuned for part 2 as we get a tour of LIAL Productions Studio. God bless.
All right. Well, you take care.